All right, guys, so today we're checking out a very familiar slash interesting pair of true wireless earbuds. And the pair we're going to check out is the Monolith M-TWE. Now, if you're familiar with Monolith at all, they're from Monoprice, which is responsible for some very nice audio products. We have the M1060s, which is an incredible pair of headphones. They make really nice amps and monitors, and they usually don't cost as much as a lot of their competitors. So when I saw that they were coming out with a new, in fact, this is their first pair of true wireless earbuds, I was excited about checking these out. But once I got them in and I looked at them, I immediately knew that I have seen this design before. This is almost an exact, in fact, it is an exact clone of the Clear Ally Plus. From the case to the earbuds, basically everything is exactly like those. In fact, they also share a lot of the same features. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna talk about some of the features they share, we're gonna look at the design of these, and we're also going to see what makes these stand out. But let's go ahead and start with the price, because these do retail for $130, but right now on their website and also on Amazon, they're on sale for $100. And that is a huge plus because the Clear Ally Plus is also marked down to $100 right now. So price-wise right now, they're on the same level. And speaking of on the same level, let's go ahead and talk about the same features that these share because they're using the same Qualcomm chip. They both have aptX, AAC, and SBC playback. They also share the same touch controls and swipe gestures. They have the exact same battery life. They're both rated at IPX4, so they're not waterproof, but they are water resistant against splashes and rain and things like that. Now, they also use the exact same 10mm drivers, and so you kind of get the idea. There's a lot of things that are identical, but what does separate these from the Clear Ally Plus is the fact that they partnered with SonarWorks. Now, SonarWorks has the Sound ID app, which if you're not familiar with, is an app that basically has a list of a lot of headphones. You can see chart readings for each headphone, so you can see the sound signature that they know that that headphone has. And what they do is allow you to go through a hearing test. And what that test is you telling it what tones you can hear. It also plays a song and has it where you have an A and a B. So it'll change the audio and you tell it if you like the A version or the B version. And it'll go through a bunch of different things. And what it's trying to pick up is if you like a certain bass tone or if you like your treble or mids pushed up a certain way, and then it just alters the sound altogether on whatever product you're using. And the one product that seemed to make the biggest difference with is, not surprising, this Monolith pair of earbuds, because I've also used it to try to go through some other earbuds that I've had, including one of my favorites, the Sony WF-1000XM3s. And when I did that through the app, I actually did not like the way it made my Sony sound. But I will tell you right now, it makes a huge difference in this pair. But we'll talk about that a little bit more when we talk about the audio. Now, these do have hybrid active noise canceling, and I will say, as far as noise canceling goes, I was very surprised at how well they did. Now, they don't stack up against the Sony or the Bose, but I would still say they block out maybe 70 to 75% of my surroundings. It's doing a really good job, especially against lower tones. But when it comes to higher frequencies, like people talking and car horns and things like that, that's the sound that I felt like still came in pretty clearly. So don't expect it to block out all of your surroundings, but as far as like AC units and engine noises and plane noises, that's where I think these did a really good job. Now, these also have an ambient mode, and this is another feature I really liked in these because the mics were pretty sensitive. So it was very easy to hear my surroundings. It was really easy to carry on a conversation and never actually have to pull the earbuds out. Now, the fact that the mics were so sensitive also means if you have it on ambient mode and you're not trying to hear something specific, it brings in a lot of external noise into your audio. Now, that's just kind of like a higher staticky type noise. So other than just carry on a conversation or trying to hear traffic, I would definitely keep it out of this mode. Now, as far as what comes inside the box, they do include 5 sets of silicone ear tips. It has everything from extra small all the way to extra large. Now, they did have the medium-sized ear tips on them out of the box, and I found that that one fit me, so I really didn't have to go through each of the earbuds. Now, another thing that they've included, and something I will probably never use, is a fabric pouch to keep the charging case in. And the reason I don't like this is I don't like having another pouch to keep up with to carry the case, but I do understand why they included this, because this case is very prone to scratches, at least the top of it. It's a glass material that is black, so it really took no time to pick up scratches and fingerprints, so this extra carrying pouch is just to keep that protected. Now, as far as the charging cable they've included, it does come with a USB-C cable. And like I said earlier, these do share the exact same battery life as the Clear Ally Plus. And that's a good thing, because the battery life on these, you're going to get around 10 hours on the earbuds. If you do decide to just listen to them at full volume, you can still get 8 hours, where with the charging case, you're going to get around 30 hours total. And another huge bonus, and another thing that they share with the Clear Ally Plus, is they both have a fast charge feature where a 5-minute charge will get you an hour's worth of use. Now, moving back over to checking out the case, like I said, it does have a glass type material on the top, which is going to pick up a lot of fingerprints and scratches. Now, on the back, you can see the USB-C input for charging, and then the indicator light is actually located underneath the lid between both earbuds, and that way you can kind of gauge how much battery life is left on the case. Now, moving over to looking at the earbuds themselves, again, it shares the exact same design as the Clear Ally Plus, and again, this is another good thing, because I like the large flat surface. Because these use touch controls and they also use swipe gestures, it makes you feel a lot more confident that it's going to pick up each thing that you're trying to do. You're not trying to touch this very small area, so I didn't have any issues when it came to getting the controls to work. But sadly, they don't let you control everything. It does let you have play, pause, and swiping up and down to control your volume. It even allows you to switch between noise canceling on, off, and your ambient mode. But sadly, there's no track control. And this is a big thing for me, because I don't like to carry around my phone if I'm around the house when I'm listening to music or if I'm doing things. And I like to just have track control on the earbuds themselves. So sadly, this is not something they're going to be able to update with a firmware update, because there's no app specifically made for this pair. But another thing that they do have that I am a fan of is it does have these smart sensors where if you take the earbuds out, it will automatically pause, and then it will resume once you put them back in. And as far as using them individually, you can use either the left or the right with no issues. And as far as the microphones on these, this is another area that I think they did a pretty decent job. Now, it's not one of the best microphones that I've heard, but it is using the CVC 8.0 technology, which basically means if you're going to use these in a noisy environment, the mics are trying to focus in on your voice and block out a lot of your surroundings. But you guys can be a judge by listening to a test here.
All right, guys, so here is a mic test using the Monolith earbuds. I think they did a very good job, especially at picking up bass tones. I do notice a slight little bit of digital noise, but I think overall for phone calls, this will definitely do the job. And so now here is a mic test with a crowd noise being played, which you can hear here. And so this is what it would sound like if you were to take a call in public.
So now let's talk about the sound, because it is definitely the sound that separates the Monoliths from the Clear Ally Plus, and that's a good thing, because the Monoliths just straight out of the box had a very clean sound with some nice punchy bass, but once you go through the Sound ID process with the app, I really felt like it made a huge difference. It definitely brought out a lot more punch in the low end. It pushed the treble up even more where it felt more detailed, and the mids on these absolutely sounded incredible. And that in itself is surprising, because having that punchy bass and that nice bright treble usually means you have to sacrifice when it comes to mids, and that's normal when it comes to true wireless earbuds, but you can tell that there's a lot of focus on bringing vocalists a little bit more forward. So if I was listening to metal where it's just chaotic with the drums and the guitars and the bass and everything going on, I never felt like the vocalists suffered. Same thing with the riffs of the guitars. They just had a nice forward presence. But when it came to pop and hip hop, I was able to feel the impact of the beat. And I never felt like it just pulled anything else down. So the treble had a nice bright shine to it. So if you're listening to synthesizers or pianos with anything else going on, it's not sacrificing anything. And they sounded very, very open, which again is another surprise. So from a sound aspect, I think Monolith just absolutely nailed it. I really just think the only cons that I keep coming back to are obviously not having track control. Again, I'm not a huge fan of the case lid because it's going to pick up everything that it touches. And then also in this price range, I would have liked to have seen the case have Qi wireless charging. But really outside of that, I think it is a very excellent product when it comes to audio. Obviously, it has some really nice features. So I think for the $100 price tag, this is an easy pair to recommend. Really, the only reason I wouldn't recommend it is if you're looking for a pair specifically for noise canceling, because that's one area I think they could have done a little bit better on. But again, I think for the price, you're getting an audio product that just delivers when it comes to audio. But guys, that's my video on the brand new Monolith M-TWEs. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Thank you so much for checking out all the other videos. And as always, make sure to stay tuned for more.